Crikey, I'm starved. Wait, is that roadkill pie? Slugging centipede gumbo? Braised potatoes with guacamole? Well now, what have we got here?
Either that vile swill Papa Batfield cooks up in his filthy outhouse. Come on down to Dingo's Diner.
Food served at Dingo's Diner may not meet the legal definition of food. Consume at your own risk. Side effects of dining at Dingo's Diner may include fatigue, increased body odor, risk-seeking behavior, thinking too much about your uncle, increased hunger, alienation from friends and family, skin irritation, ennui, leaky orifices, oozing orifices, flowing orifices.
You fucking stay out of my diner!
Remembering that girl from high school, what's she up to? Do you think she's happy? And profuse volunteers don't shoot so bad.
Crash Bandicoot 4 walkthrough. This is another level where we get to play as a secondary character. So the first time was with that other Bandicoot type of person. I forgot what her name was. I don't actually remember what the alligator's name is either. So you get to play as him though, and he has like this big sucking machine, kind of like Luigi's vacuum from Luigi's Mansion. And he's actually a lot of fun. So I mentioned this the last time we played as a secondary, and that was pretty much they make you play as other characters, but for the most part the controls are the same, minus a few differences that are extremely easy to get used to. So the jumping, wow, I totally missed that, didn't I? The jumping is pretty much the same as Crash. It's a little different because you get a hover instead of a double jump, but the controls and the speed and all of that, it's pretty much exactly the same, so again, it's not really a huge leap to play these guys over playing Crash, and that I think is really important in, what are these called, platformer games. You don't really want to make characters, multiple playable characters that are just, you know, way too different from each other, because you always end up with one that's really bad, and you always end up with one that's really good, and one everyone hates, and one everyone likes. But in this game, I think, I would assume most people like Crash the most. I know I do, but that's also because I spend the most time playing as Crash, so I'm just used to that. But also, what the heck, I don't even know where I was going with that, so let's just pretend that thought's finished, and talk about the level. We can suck up TNT, and it's going to, jeez, I don't know what's going on with my throat there. We can suck up the TNT and it will take 3 seconds to blow up while it's in our, whatever the heck device, our suction device. And there's going to be a lot of gaps that you probably can't make as default Crash, but you can make as this guy. You just have to jump and hover. And we're going to want to throw TNT at all kinds of stuff if we can. I mean, especially the enemies. There's those guys that are floating around, and they're carrying TNT, and if you jump into them, I don't know if it blows up. It might fall down, but I don't really want to risk it. So we're just going to blow them up and then grab the checkpoint. And we're just going to see how this guy's fancy restaurant, which has A-grade health inspection, is just going to be destroyed. Is pretty much what's happening here. And there's kind of a hidden area back here behind his restaurant if you walk this way far enough, and you can also see there's something over there onto the right. So I don't remember what this leads to. Ah yes, a secret gem. So the cool thing about the hidden gems is that if you die when you get them, you still have them, so you don't have to get them again. So if there's something like that that's just too difficult to get back, that one wasn't difficult, but later on if it's just kind of too hard to get back and the level sometimes doesn't give you an easy way back, if you die and you want to take the death, then that's an option to get back to your last checkpoint, which might well be easier than returning from some of these gems. Dang, some of them are hard. Okay, so, I mean, I don't really know what else there is to say about this level. It's just playing as the crocodile or alligator, whatever he is. He was an enemy in the previous games. I can't remember which one. I think the second one? I think he was a boss in that game. He was like one of the first bosses. So I think it's kind of cool that they brought some of those old bosses, these old characters back, and they're like, hey, why don't we get to play as them? So as with the other secondary playable character, who I cannot remember the name of, once we defeat the first level as this guy, which I think is mandatory, I don't think you can get through without playing this level, it will unlock around one level, I think close to one level in each world afterwards, where you can play as this guy, and it kind of follows his story too. So it's kind of cool playing through and just seeing the other kind of what's going on with the other characters. So it's something that is worth doing. I will have videos for those later on, but not for a while. I also was supposed to throw TNT onto that sign to get that life, but I did not do that, so that's okay. These guys are kind of weird, demented bats, and they will blow up those boxes, but they're really not too hard. Luckily, this guy has a huge hitbox, or at least it feels huge. I don't know if it's any bigger than Crash's, but it feels really big, so it just feels a lot easier to hit enemies as this guy. And then there's going to be nitro boxes you need to boost over. Be careful with those. Careful you don't get dragged right into that one. I was fighting the conveyor belt there, and then we can blow that up there, and just try to get over here onto the sign. You do kind of have to get close and aim it a little bit though, so let's try it again. I don't think the sign even really gives you anything. Did I give up? I guess I gave up on that. I'm not sure what that sign gives you. If you have to hit all of them for something, I already missed a few, so it doesn't really matter. I don't know what those creatures... Those are flying pigs. Okay, I get it now. That's cool. And if there's huge groups of boxes like these, just suck them all up. Don't really worry about it. Okay, we'll grab the checkpoint, avoid all of this nitro. I don't know why this level went so heavy on the nitro. And I think I boosted to the right here a little bit. Yep, again, use that circle and avoid the demented bat. He hit me anyway, but I had some health because I died a few times. Let's not talk about that. And then there's going to be a wheel there that we can explode, and also some nitro boxes that I think I do blow up. And we're also going to want to try to hit that exclamation box, which will open up these boxes on the left. And then we go on more to the right side with more TNT and more nitro, and like, if you can blow something up to make your life easier, there's no reason not to. So we're just gonna try to avoid some of these guys here. I did actually kill one of those bats with something. I think it might have been a TNT ricochet, or sometimes when one enemy dies, they spin off and hit another enemy. I'm not really sure what killed that one, but it really does show you can kill pretty much any enemy in this game, but it's not always in your best interest to do that. So as far as difficulty, I don't think this level was nearly as hard as the last two Crash ones were. It had some challenges here and there, but it really was kind of a nice change because I didn't have to stress out so dang much. I guess you could really look at my lives to disprove that or not. I've died 4 or 5 times it looked like already, and this area here is a little bit finicky. There is a part at the end of the level it's very strange. It just feels really weird. It's like too crowded almost. So for any of the enemies that are in this game, I really do suggest that if they have an attack, try to let them play the attack out before you go after them, because it's kind of hard to time it. And then when you are running into them, or avoid them entirely, just try to preemptively spin. That will usually let you win, because if you try to get close to them and then spin, they seem to win that battle a lot. And there's going to be like a stirring pot there that's cooking something up. And what did that sign even do? I'm not actually sure what that did. That was like the third one I've seen, so maybe you have to hit all 3 and then it does something. I don't really know. So there's some boxes on the right there. I don't think there's anything more. And then we just need to, I think we can blow this up here with the TNT. What am I doing? Apparently not, so I have no idea. Okay, yes you can, I think. I don't know what I was trying to go back there for. Maybe, I think I was just trying to reposition myself to aim. I think that's what I was doing. So these weird bats will also drop that TNT, it does look like. And it's kind of nice because you get 3 seconds to worry about it. And I'm just trying to get up here and get that guy to drop it before I grab the TNT here. It's pretty hard to jump past the stirring machine if you haven't blown it up. And especially on those conveyor belts, that's just such a pain in the neck there. Okay, and then we got another one here with a lot more boxes and more of these TNT bats. So you can suck up the TNT from them and throw it in, and I think I do that here. Okay, good. And then we're just going to grab these boxes, and I, again, thought I was going for all boxes in this game at some point, so I'm waiting for this one to come back around, and he does like a weird loop where you can't get him for most of it, and then he comes over here, and he mostly just drops it on the conveyor belt, and that's what I was trying to wait for. I was trying to figure out his pattern, so now we have to wait again for him to get that drop, to get him to drop that TNT. And just gotta wait, and then I think maybe I jump up and He didn't even drop it on me there. If I jump up and suck it off of him, no, there he goes. He finally drops it. And then it blows up, and I don't really care anymore. Okay, so this is the final part of this level, and it looks like I died 2 times attempting this. There's like 4 of these bats, and you're getting TNT dropped on you, and the best way I found was just to charge in and try to hit all of them, and that was it. I died, looks like 2 more times trying to figure out the best way for that, but that was the only successful attempt, because I have not replayed this level since, but there's also quite a few boxes if you want to blow them up, and then the end of the level.